And as industry knows, my door is always open. Now, I'll be happy to discuss the Green Paper with business when business has had time to properly assess the detail and make a considered assessment and a constructive proposal as to where we should go from here. However, I also want to remind the audience that climate change policy is just one of the key policy public issues that will be on my mind and on your mind over the months to come. I go, for example, to the issue of foreign investment. And a lot has been said recently about foreign investment and sovereign risk. I simply adopt this view. Australia is not only a world-class petroleum province, particularly when it comes to gas, but we're also a safe and stable country with a fair and predictable fiscal, regulatory and access regime. We are resource-rich and an attractive destination for investment compared to many other places in the world. We are a country, as we all appreciate, built on foreign investment, and we as a government are delighted with foreign companies' desires to invest in Australia, particularly when it is in our national interest and facilitates the development of Australia's resources for the benefit of all Australians. The policy on foreign investment is long-standing and non-discriminatory, and our government has brought to the forefront clearly an endeavour to make sure that there is certainty and transparency with respect to the long-standing foreign investment guidelines which are known to many. We are committed to open and transparent investment frameworks because they are key to investment confidence, both within Australia and internationally. When it comes to investment confidence, I know some companies are concerned about the changes to condensate excise that were made in the May budget. It's my responsibility to appropriately explain the government's thinking with respect to this key decision. It's also time for a few of us to be a little bit frank. Because over time, as we all appreciate, taxation regimes do change. In fact, governments have often responded to requests by industry to adjust taxation arrangements, and that is the objective of the Henry Review, which I'm sure industry will be a key participant in. Over the course of the last 2 decades, under both Labor and Coalition governments, Australian industry has benefited significantly from business tax reform. The May budget removed a Sunrise industry incentive for the North West Shelf project in the Cooper Basin that had been in place for 24 years. I think we'd all accept that Australia is a better, wealthier place today for the development of what were then frontier industries at a time when gas was a relatively hard commodity to move. But now that the North West Shelf is a mature and profitable venture, with record high prices, the concession is no longer justified, and we as a government have a responsibility to ensure that the Australian community receives a fair share of the benefits associated with resource exploitation in the North West Shelf gas project. In addition, we have a new generation of gas projects which are very much on my mind and on the mind of my department. These projects include such areas as Gorgon, the Browse and Sunrise, that as you and I appreciate are struggling to get off the ground. To this end I remind you, because it seems less well known in industry, that the May budget also included the announcement of a comprehensive review of Australia's taxation system, the Henry Review. This review will include an assessment of the barriers to investment in large-scale downstream gas projects, including the hurdles faced by remote gas developers and consideration of future policy framework for new Sunrise industry development in Australia's gas sector, including new LNG gas to liquids and domestic gas projects. I encourage APIA and individual companies to participate in that review, and not only to make their views known to the Henry Review, but also make them known to me and my office and department. My friends, just as with climate change policy, it's also very important for government to try and get it right in terms of facilitating investment in oil and gas for Australia's future prosperity.